Hello and welcome back. Today we're talking about the Chinese Cheongsam. It's very fashionable clothing in China. It's a one-piece body-hugging dress. Was made famous in the 1920s in Shanghai. In Mandarin Chinese, it's known as the qipao, but in English it is survived as the Cheongsam.
Yes, it is the most typical dress for women. And I know the Chinese word qipao, which means 奇人之袍 or 奇女之袍. It is a dress that Qi wore in the Qing dynasty. And I want to know, how about the English word cheongsam?
Well, as we know, it's survived in English through Cheongsam. It's loaned from Chinese Cantonese.
But it's said that qipao can date back to one-piece gown style in the Warring States period. Is that right?
I believe so. In the early years of the Qing dynasty, I believe the qipao was a straight dress, just one straight dress. But throughout the years, it has changed a lot through various different styles. But originally, it was simple. It covered the whole body. The hands people costumes was a two-piece dress, I believe. Yes.
How about the middle and later years of the Qing dynasty?
Well, in the middle and later years of the Qing dynasty, the Manchu and Han people began to interact with each other more. They influenced each other's styles more. So the collar of the qipao became higher, and the long sleeves were reversed. So they became known as the reverse large sleeves. I don't know how to say that in Chinese.
大袖. It's 倒大袖.
倒大袖. And also the 4 slits for horse riding became 2 slits instead.
Then it was still quite different from qipao we talk about today. Generally speaking, cheongsam was wide and loose at that time, and it covered most of the woman's body, and I think it was kind of baggy. So how has it become body hugging?
Oh, I know that. It is said that in 1921, some female high school students, they started to wear a kind of blue cotton cloth robe, and that is called Cheongsam. And then it soon became very popular across the whole China.
Yeah, that's right. At the beginning, it looked simple and serious. It was straight, flat, and loose with bells mounted on it, I believe. The city women liked this style very much, but it followed the traditional style. So they started to pay attention to figure and curves of the body. So it came away from the bagginess to more to accentuate the woman's body. So the Cheongsam has been through numerous style changes, I believe.
It was greatly shortened and the waistline was heightened.
Yeah, and the slides on both sides of thigh part were heightened also.
Yes.
So the 1930s and 40s were the golden age of the Cheongsam, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. I think Western style tailoring was introduced to make it even more snug. It made it fit the body even more, to show the curves of the female's body even more. It's by this time it's changed completely from the original style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
For a time, I think it was most fashionable in China, but I think it started to creep over into Western culture too. But it's not like the establishment of New China in 1949.
But, it was criticized for bourgeois lifestyle. And then because it is not practical in our daily life and work, so it was soon put aside. What a pity.
So, what was popular in China at this time?
I know. People wore the workers' uniform, nylon jackets, and the army style during the 1950s, and in 1960s and 1970s. Liberation Army uniforms became popular.
Okay. That's to say, Cheongsam was totally abandoned in the middle of the 20th century. Thanks to the reform and open door policy, that a revival of Cheongsam could be seen in the mainland in the 1980s. Hey, have you watched the movie The Mood for Love, 花样年华?
Yeah, I have actually. It was in Hong Kong with Maggie Cheung and Tony Leung, right?
Yeah,
it's,
that's right.
It's famous because she had 20 different sets of Cheongsam in this film.
Yeah.
Am I correct? Yeah. The movie made the Cheongsam very famous again in the world of fashion, but let's talk about the unique design of the Cheongsam.
From top to bottom, this is called stand-up corner. It's usually made with symmetrical design and shows the curve of the wearer's leg very laterally. And this part is called front piece. Traditional Chinese Cheongsam had a front piece in many styles, and it was mainly as dramatic with the buttons on the right, like this one. But the design of the front piece of modern Cheongsam is more varied, like some with the buttons in the middle. When it comes to the sleeves, traditional Cheongsam had different designs of sleeves, but the sleeves of modern Cheongsam are mainly in Western style, just like this one. The parts like shoulder, waist, chest, hip, and hem are designed to show the beautiful curve of a woman's body, and all the parts should be made to measurement very well, not too loose, not too tight. If it's too loose, it's draggy, but if it's too tight, it's not so elegant. And what's more, for convenience, the modern Cheongsam generally has two sleeves at either side of the hem. It should not be too low or too high. If it's too low, it's not convenient for the wearer to work. But if it's too high, it's too much exposure of the wearer's legs.
Today we have been talking about the Cheongsam, the qipao, and how it's evolved throughout the ages. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time.